What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Thank you all fellow co-creators for tuning in for another episode of Tales of Dordania. We got some exciting stuff in store for this evening. For those of you that tuned in to our last episode, and for those of you that didn't, here's kind of the recap of what happened. So Behemoth, after looking around in the room and snagging the rune key from Malice, was able to find the sneaky trap door that led into Anukis's chamber. And he even found where the soul stone was encased into the center statue here on top of this altar for Anukis. And Tarek is with him. Luckily, they found this together. And as they found the soul stone, Malice has revealed that she was waiting for Tarek / Behemoth to locate the room, knowing that he would do so eventually. And she has now showed up to reclaim her prize, which is the soul stone of Dracula, to try to regain Dracula's life. And Behemoth has the soul stone in his hand and has grabbed it from Anukis' statue. Gotcha there, bro. Our rest of our party, the remaining of our party, is over here in the ritual chamber. And, Kieran, he ran straight into a trap and got caught into a rune circle that was actually on the altar spot for reviving Dracula. He was then paralyzed, and Hootie and Kai came in to save the day. Hootie did not do so well and got himself stuck in the altar as well with you, Kieran. And it was all up to our fearless blind Kai to save the day, which magically, you used like the force and just roped both these suckers out of this ring, pulled them out of the ritualistic circle, removed the temporal paralysis on them both, and you have now just kind of regained consciousness, Hootie and Kieran. Also, we have a guest Hootie for this evening. This is my beautiful wife. We have part-time Hootie stepping in for tonight, so very excited about that. And we will open up and we will actually start with you three here in the ritualistic chamber. Kai, you have just literally pulled these two idiots from this circle room that's pretty much inscribed in the floor, like it's literally carved out of the stone. And it's in a big circle here in this room. Big circle, kind of in between these two pillars here. And as these two were trapped in it, it was glowing, it was pulsating. They were both, unresponsive, they both couldn't move, temporal paralysis. You just ripped them out of there. They're just now kind of waking up. What would you three like to do?
Time to go.
And as you all are going out of the room and turning the corner, everyone make an initiative check. Because as you exit the room, in this hallway waiting for you are three undead orcs.
What dice?
D20, yep, and then add your initiative. So, as the three of you kind of turn this corner and you see these three undead orcs standing at you, two of them are, as Kai and Kieran, you've already fought before. They seem kind of a standard, zombified, retarded kind of orc, carrying a battle axe, kind of coming at you. The one in the middle, however, doesn't seem to quite fully be undead, or at least if he's under control, someone's controlling him a little better. His eyes aren't glossed over like the other two undead orcs. Oh. His eyes actually seem to be a little bit more intact, and he's drawing a longbow, and it's aiming right at you guys. Into Orc 2's turn, and he's going to charge. Let's see here. We'll say definitely Hootie led the way because that's opposed to Hootie. Oh. And we'll say he runs right at you, Hootie, wielding his battle axe, coming in for a swing. Alright, he does not hit.
Nice.
So as this orc kind of runs up to you, Hootie, he just kind of grabs his axe, he just kind of swings it, and you just kind of backstep a little bit, and he just swings it right into this brick. And it slightly gets stuck for a second. He kind of has to pull, and he gets it out, but he got stuck there in a little bit for a second. And that is the end of Orc 2's turn.
So since I'm behind Hootie, I'm going to attack him with my quarterstaff. I'm going to jump above Hootie and quarterstaff.
Ooh, and just leap over him and quarterstaff down.
Nice.
Okay.
All right.
Roll an acrobatics check for the leap over Hootie, and then roll your hit.
Acrobatics?
Acrobatics, yes sir.
That's 25.
Ooh, okay. Then roll the hit.
Nice. Like Jet Li up in
and
here.
then plus whatever your quarterstaff bonuses are.
1 1d6.
Well, no. That's damage. Attack bonus.
Yeah, right. Attack.
4.
Yep.
And you're proficient for this.
That he is, yep.
18.
18? Ooh, son, you gonna hit this boy. As you, Kai, see this orc kind of charging at Hootie, you just sense that he's running towards him, and you just literally kind of use your staff as kind of a pole vault, and you just stamp it into the ground and vault yourself over Hootie's body. And as you kind of swing over him, you have the staff ready, and you just bring it down on top of this dude's head, like right here into the shoulder, right here into the trap. Roll for damage.
6.
Damn, son! All right.
Magic fingers over there is somehow doing it.
And as you smack this orc, I mean, bro, you just pole vaulted over Hootie's butt and you just drop down the hammer. This orc gets knocked to the ground. I mean, he just gets knocked prone and he's like on his butt. Like he just doesn't even know what hit him. I mean, literally, he's undead as well. Then it's going to jump to orc number 3 with the arrow.
Uh-oh.
And honestly, he's going to go for you, Kieran. He sees you kind of hiding. You're a little bit shorter than Hootie. He sees you kind of cower underneath the wings. He's going to go ahead and make...
He's going for
Ooh, what's that armor class, boy?
light work.
13.
He's going to hit you, son. He's definitely going to hit you.
Starting out strong.
That one's going to be a hit. Okay? As he rears back, he kind of initially goes for Hootie. He sees you kind of cowering to the side, lowers his bow just a smidge, and he lets loose. As he does, you feel an arrow, I mean, right into your gut, like right kind of into the rib cage, and it sticks. Like it doesn't go all the way through you. It sticks a good, probably like 4 inches into your gut, and it's just, and I mean, it hurts. It deals 7 damage to you.
Ouch.
For a leprechaun, you're not so lucky, Joe.
Not that time he wasn't.
And he's going then to take his next action and grab another arrow. And seeing as he's hit you, Kieran, he's going to then go for you, Hootie. Sorry, I don't know why I mentioned Hootie here. Hootie, he's going to make an attack on you. What's your armor class?
15.
He does not hit Hootie.
Nah.
As he pulls back his second arrow and kind of repositions to his original target, when he lets loose, he just feels kind of a weird sudden burst of energy, and he just whoops. He kind of goes high, and this bolt just whizzes above your head, Hootie. I mean, you feel it ruffle your feathers a little bit,
Oh, yeah.
and it just smashes and breaks into the stone wall. Kind of
Way to go, team.
Nothing in
Everybody's
He
my...
misses the tall guy, but he's the short one. Exactly.
Literally, like dead on, dude. Just like he's done.
That wasn't your fault though. I mean, at least that it was just him rolling good.
After Orc 15, or sorry, after Orc 3, it's going to go to Orc 1, and that's him over here. As Orc 1 then runs over to you, Kai, after seeing your incredible display of strength against his buddy, he's going to come at you with his battle axe, and he's going to go for a swing, kind of at your like shoulder area, okay? And what is your armor class, sir?
16.
Okay, that one's going to hit, my friend.
Oh my gosh.
And that was a damn good roll. He's going to do 6 damage.
Ouch! You guys are.
And he's just going to swing. And he kind of cleaves right into your shoulder a little bit. I mean, he just kind of takes off a nice first layer, knocks you back a little bit, kind of into this wall just a smidge as he kind of runs up on you there, Kai. Let's see what you got, Kieran. What you going to do, son? You kind of still hiding behind Hootie, and you do still have an arrow in your side, just so you know.
It's staying there because I put out, I'm screwed.
Crossbow.
Yeah, I'm going to put my crossbow, and I'm going to take a shot at orc number 3.
Take a shot at orc number 3.
All right, take him out. Take him out.
What you got?
Hard. Come on.
It doesn't. It's okay.
Oh my gosh.
All right, what was it though? I need to know. Okay, and roll for damage.
7.
Okay. As you kind of raise up your crossbow, Kieran, and you just, angry about what just happened to you and this arrow in your side, the pain's a little much for you. And as you go to aim, you're just, it's hurting. And you kind of, as you pull the trigger, you wince in the pain at the same time. And you shoot an arrow straight through one of Hootie's wings. I mean, just clean all the way through. Hootie, just take 3 damage. We'll do the lower half of the 7 because it just clean went all the way through your wing.
Bro.
And it was just kind of, on the edge of his wing as you were trying to aim for orc number 3. As you go and see kind of what's going on, Hootie, and realize that Kieran has just shot an arrow through your wing, and Kai has actually helped you. You're going to go ahead and help the Kai man. And you run up on this orc that has just kind of went and swung into Kai's shoulder, and you just kind of wings up, kind of flap up, hover about 2 feet off the ground, and you just dash forward about 5-10 feet. Both talons, both your feet sticking straight out, and you just cleave into this undead orc's chest. And you did pretty damn good amount of damage, not gonna lie. Talon him again, okay?
Right there. I'll try to go for the neck this time.
Okay. Roll again for an attack.
Yeah. Okay.
Just hold him with one talon. With the other talon.
Nice.
11. I rolled 11 again.
You do not hit with an 11, unfortunately. As you have your talon kind of still synced in, you go to kind of grab his neck with your other leg, and he just kind of like slightly undead, slightly kind of dead from the attack that you just dealt him. His head just kind of bobs to the side and misses your talons.
That's a risky attack.
After Hootie's dash attack, it jumps back to orc number 2, which is the one that Kai knocked down furiously at the beginning of the battle. And as this orc stands back up with his battle axe ready, this happens.
He's gonna roll. What's your? Ooh, he rolled a nat 1, son.
Yeah.
All right. As he brings his axe above his head, he just.
Oh my god.
And you see that the blade seems to be stuck in the back of his head and his
Wow.
neck as his hands like kind of drop
You
forward.
lucked out so hard.
And he's just kind of standing there for a second. You see how much damage it takes?
This is so bad.
Well, you don't really get a choice on how to do this because he kind of killed himself, so I'm sorry.
He did. He just killed
But
himself.
straight up,
I bet y'all look so good.
He rolled it now.
brings his axe into the back of his neck. His hands drop. He just kind of staggers for a second
And
in
falls
front
on
of
his
you,
face.
Kai. And you're blind as shit. You can't really see this, but you sense, based off his foot movement, that he's just kind of
You
staggered.
believe the luck in
And this dude just drops.
Funny.
I mean, straight in front of you,
You.
like face first, and like his tooth hits your toe. He done messed himself up.
After Orc 2 went ahead and more or less beheaded himself, we jump over to Orc 3. And he, with the arrows, aims again for Kieran and actually pretty much turns him into Boromir and shoots another 2 arrows, one into his side and one into his shoulder. And Kieran is hanging on by just a thread of life at this point. And as he's actually going then to kind of help out his other orc friend, Orc number 1, from going up on Kai, he lets loose that arrow and unfortunately miserably misses and actually shoots his buddy in the head, in the back of the head. The arrow then shoots out of Orc number 1's mouth and splatters blood all over Kai's face. Luckily, Kai's blind, so he didn't have to see any of this gruesomeness, but he definitely felt the blood as it splattered all over him. And Orc 3 ended up killing his other orc friend, and so yeah, pretty much now.
Yep, Orc 3's all that's remaining.
Yeah, dude, they
You're
killed
up.
themselves.
And with Orc 3 being all that remained, Kai took the opportunity to try some more kung fu tactics, and he was going to kind of pole vault himself again over the dead body of one of these orcs, and at the same time try like a 360 spin and just bring his staff right into the side of the face of this orc number 3. However, he did not quite roll high enough to hit, so when he made his acrobatic twirling attack, he did not quite get the spacing correct, and he did his move about 2 feet in front of the orc, leaving the orc unharmed, however. After that, it jumped over to Kieran, who finally decided that he was done with the crossbow and he was going to try and just run up at orc number 3 with his dagger and just try to stab this dude. And as he went to make his roll,
That's a nat 20. Yeah, stab his throat. I'm assuming I can reach that high. I'm not following. But I'll stab his throat, and I'm going to kick his legs under, and he's just going to fall off. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god.
Okay, here's how you do it. It's your time. You're literally a Chucky.
Yeah, like Chucky.
You being the Chucky in you, you just kind of jump at this undead orc as he's getting ready to shoot poor Kai's head off. And as you leap into him, you kind of jump on like the back of his shoulder here, and you just bring this knife about right here into his neck, and you just full ring him. I mean, ring it right around. He's just, his undead juices are just spilling out right now, okay? And as you kind of ring him down, you're still just kind of laughing and chuckling. You kind of ring the neck, and you just kind of throw his head down as you kind of jump back off of him. You do a cute little backflip as you kind of land back into a nice, amazing, posture as you kind of, done this incredible feat. And the undead orc drops dead. Now, before you guys get a chance to check out bodies, loot bodies, and do that kind of stuff, we're going to jump over to Tarek and Behemoth, okay? These two battles are kind of happening simultaneously, okay? So at the start of this battle that you all just witnessed happen, the start of what you all are about to witness as well is also occurring. And as Malice kind of walks into the room chuckling, as you have Dracula's Soul Stone in your hand, and you're doing everything in your power to resist talking to it, his temptations. However, that concentration has let you somewhat vulnerable. And your focus, your whole focus is on not giving into this soul stone right now. And you're kind of entranced in that. Tarek sees this, and he, as he kind of turns to see Malice, and she's kind of chuckled into the entrance, and she tells Tarek, "Oh, Abaddon, I knew you would acquire the soul stone. All you needed was a bit more time. Now what do you say we take it from this poor simpleton, and we get back to the ritualistic nature?" And she's talking to you, Tarek, not realizing that Abaddon isn't in control. Tarek, what would you like to do before we roll for initiative?
So I'm gonna go a little crazy.
All right.
Okay.
I like crazy. Let's go crazy.
Okay.
All right.
And as she's kind of revealed herself and kind of, let out this, sinister bit of a chuckle, Tarek, you just run. You're just like flying off of these altars and you're just diving straight at Malice. What would you like to do?
I want to heal myself.
I want to heal myself as you run up
Your
on her.
life. Run.
Okay, go ahead and heal. Are you
Heal.
heal? Okay, heal. Up on the body.
Hilarious.
Up on the body.
Up on the body. You got healed up there, Tarek. You are now healed. What else would you like to do real quick before we go for initiative?
I don't know.
You said, I think I'm going to go crazy. And then you healed yourself. So I'm waiting for the crazy moment.
I would love, if I can, to wild shape into the... What was the one with the pinchers? The big... nasty
Cinder spider?
No, the other one.
The Magma?
Arca.
The Ankeg?
Ankeg.
Ooh.
Ankeg's a little big for you to...
Can I do the cinder spider?
You can do a cinder spider.
I'll wild shape it to the cinder.
As you run up on this girl and you heal yourself, you kind of get at, about 2-3 feet away from her, and as you kind of get to this position, your arms you kind of bring up over and you kind of crouch down at the same time. And as you do, you have literally morphed yourself, wild shape style, into a cinder spider.
Nice.
And as Tarek transformed into this cinder spider, it took a little bit getting used to. This is his first time not only using his wild shape, but also his first time literally being, another creature. And a cinder spider is not the easiest creature to just kind of jump into with multiple legs, a tail that shoots magma, and this, that, and the other. And, it took him a little while. He didn't really land any of his attacks, and I was kind of nice to him, and he only, was, like I said, just kind of figuring out his moves, figuring out his body. So he didn't luckily do any damage to himself or knock himself down too much. And he ended up, after failing his first couple attacks with his new form, just kind of using his movement to dash up on top of the ceiling. And Malice was just kind of a little, distraught, impressed with just how he transformed, the fact that he was no longer under control by Abaddon, and the fact that he is now, full on attacking her, and that the Soul Stone is still in Behemoth's hand. And then we go to Behemoth, who he is doing everything in his power to not talk to Dracula's Soulstone and to not give in to all the different things that Dracula is trying to pry out of him. And after a while, he unfortunately ends up giving him something and, tells him a little bit about his creator, Colonel F. Sanders, and how his whole purpose in life is really just to bring awareness about Colonel F. Sanders to the world and to convince people that he is a real person. And Dracula tells him that if he can just simply bring the Soulstone to the chamber next door, that not only will Dracula help him do this, but he'll make a decree telling everybody throughout all of Dordania, not just Alacardia, that Colonel F. Sanders is real, and he will make it by law. So Behemoth pretty much has a great opportunity here, and he stays true to character, stays true to what Theo told him in the beginning, and he takes the Soulstone, throws it at the ground, takes his lute out, and plays an incredibly loud screeching note trying to shatter the Soulstone. Now, he did roll pretty well, but unfortunately the Soulstone is pretty magical and powerful, and it was not quite strong enough to destroy it. And then we jump to Malice, who, after seeing, what Tarrek's done, literally throws her scimitar into the back of Tarrek, kind of pinning him down to the roof. She then uses one of her insane vampiric legendary actions and uses a blink action, and teleports up to the back of Tarek, now in his Cinder Spider form. And then she literally just cleaves her sword up the back towards the head of Tarek as she literally then knocks him out of his form, causing him to revert back to his dark elf shape, weakened and prone, and she kind of just jumps back down as he falls from the ceiling to the floor with a loud crash as he reverts back into his dark elf self. Luckily, however, as Tarek is making his attempt to stand up, this happens.
So, you can use bonus action to stand up, but before you do that, make an intelligence check.
Nat 20.
As you land on the ground, you blink for a second, and then when your eyes open up, you're back in that temporal kind of station of yourself. And Abaddon is literally just going crazy. I mean, banging on the walls within his cell, within your soul. And you just see the anger, and you see the dismay, and it's almost towards Malice in a sense too that you sense. It's not just only is he frustrated with the situation, he seems to be frustrated with Malice in a way as well. You are still definitely in control, and as you kind of blink again, you kind of flutter back into reality, and you see everything that's going on. Bonus action to stand up.
Can I utilize thorn whip and stuff flying down, or do I have to stand up?
With disadvantage.
Yeah, bonus action stand up.
Okay. Bonus action stand up. Boom. You got 2 actions left. What would you like to do?
Right next to her.
You are right next to her, bro.
I think when we left off that my knife is still stuck in her chest.
It is still stuck in her chest.
Nice call.
I'm going to go for my knife and jam it right back into her again.
You should pull it out and just have it back in another spot.
Maybe I have a neck this time though.
Alright. Tarek, as you kind of fall down and then kind of, take your bonus action to stand up after your little time with Abaddon, you just kind of lunge at Malice, and you are able to grab your dagger. But as you pull it out with all of your might, she already is, deadlocked into your eyes again. Make another intelligence check. As you roll this check, and you have your dagger in hand,
Book it.
you realize, as you kind of look at your hand, you see your hand turn just dark, kind of black, and your skin tone changes. And you realize, I've been sucked into the cell. And you are now in that temporal cell, and Abaddon has been let free.
Oh.
And literally, he just howls as he kind of takes control. And as he does, he is going to then, with the dagger still in hand, just stab it right back at Malice. And
She's attacking me.
oh shit!
I thought you were reminded.
She gonna hit this one. What's your damage? What's your dagger do for damage?
1d4.
We're gonna do a d6 because Abaddon's got it in his hand. And as you grab, Abaddon grabs, has the dagger in hand, he just and just stabs it, literally into the other shoulder of, Malice. And he digs it in.
All right, Abaddon.
And he releases it, and as you're kind of trapped now, you hear Abaddon say, "If you ever try to double-cross me again, I will kill you without hesitation."
And as this happens, Tarek realizes that Abaddon isn't quite fully trusting Malice anymore. And however Malice tries to explain what's kind of going on, how she still is on his side.
It's then going to jump over to Behemoth. Behemoth, what would you like to do?
I witness and recognize the changes going on here with Abaddon coming into being. And I scream out to him that you're stronger, you can fight this. At the same moment, I take my axe off my back and I strike it straight down on the soul stone as hard as I possibly can. With
On the soul stone?
Yeah.
As you kind of cry out to Tarek, you just, yeah! And then you forget literally what you're about to tell him, and you realize you just yelled like, yeah! And you caused attention to yourself. And Tarek and Malice have both kind of turned their gaze to you as you just kind of yell, "You were," in weird hesitationness. And you realize this is a little awkward, so you just whip out that battle axe, and you just bring it down onto the soul stone.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Sounds like a chase.
Your axe gets 3 saving throws. One of them has been expended.
Okay.
As you bring your axe down onto the stone, it vibrates through your hands ferociously, almost to the point where you drop it, Behemoth. And you realize that this blade of your axe is literally just resting on one of the corners of the soul stone. It hasn't penetrated it, hasn't chipped it. It is literally just on top of the soul stone. And it feels like you have just hit your battle axe against like a ton of iron or straight into a rock. That, unfortunately, was the battle of your turn, minus movement. Would you like to move at all?
Run away.
Behemoth kind of seeing what's going on, kind of repositions himself and gets ready for
Now I have the
anything
high
that's
ground.
coming out of him. And hey, Obi-Wan status. You got the high ground. Facts. It is then going to jump over to Malice.
It's over, Malice. I have the high ground.
That's right. Nice. Well done.
Power.
As Malice kind of seeing you kind of step in front of the soul stone, she literally teleports
Behind you.
right behind you. And as you kind of realize that she's behind you as you turn, she grabs the soul stone and she's back at the entrance.
Bro.
As she teleports back, you see the soul stone in her hand, and she's kind of just looking at it, almost kind of in the same kind of entranced state that you were in as well. As she's grabbed the soul stone, that is actually going to be the end of her turn, as she is entranced. Tarek jumps over to you, my brother. What would you like to do?
Well, there's nothing like handy.
You can speak to Abaddon.
Oh. That's a good.
Tell him to share the
I
stone.
didn't know I could do that.
That's actually pretty good.
He's a part of you.
I mentioned that she betrayed you.
That's right.
He's literally attached to your soul.
That little
I like that too.
Hoochie mama,
The hoochie mama.
Oh,
straight up
Talking
tried to
smack.
kill us both.
She sounds like a.
And I'm telling you, Abaddon, that even though she says that was for you, she has her own agenda.
Can't trust those ramps. Man.
Can't trust that.
can't trust him.
As you kind of hear this, you actually feel Abaddon's presence in your kind of cell. And you pause for a moment, and then you hear Abaddon speak. And what would you have me do if she has betrayed us?
Destroy that stone, because that's what she needs to have more power than you.
But then I cannot shed your poor flesh.
But we can work that out. This is not the only way.
That's a pretty good
You're
argument.
going to hear
That's really
Abaddon
fair.
kind of pondering for a moment.
Look, Abaddon, let me tell you this too. I want you out of me just as much as you want out of me. We can find a way. But this isn't the way.
Okay.
Yeah,
As Abaddon's kind of thinking, make a persuasion check. As you've kind of said this, Abaddon kind of... I don't know what As of now, I decide only for myself, Derek. This is the first time Abaddon's actually addressed you by name. Abaddon is then actually going to, and I'm literally going to have Abaddon disappear.
Oh, why?
And he just dips, and he's in that kind of weird astral kind of temporal plane where he is seeing everything that's going on, but he is not actually physically in that realm. You are just viewing, kind of on a sidestep, okay?
Better pop in.
And as you just kind of disappear, Behemoth, you see this. Malice sees this as well, as she's kind of still holding the soda stone, kind of pondering it. It is then going to jump to you, Behemoth. As it jumps over to Malice, and she's seen you play these two horrific notes, she is then going to teleport again to your location and then gone. And where you guys arrive, you are in the center of the ritualistic chamber.
Oh, the death.
And you are in the ring. And as you realize for an instant that you are stuck in a different room, Terry's no longer there, there's nothing there. You're stuck in this circle, you are dead center. You cannot move. And your eyes are moving. You're conscious of like what's happening, but your body cannot move. And you feel Malice's presence just kind of walk around the back of you towards the front of this altar, kind of to where that kind of 4 foot, kind of altar actual like station was before the 2 pillars. And she has a soul stone in hand. Now, as she does this, this is when your guys' battle and their battle kind of met up to each other, okay? So you all have just enslaved the undead orcs. And as you do, you hear something hooty right behind you in this corridor.
Yep, you're right by me.
And as you kind of look back over your shoulder and look down into this room, you see poor Behemoth bound to this inscription that is in the ground. And you see Malice there too, and she has placed the soul stone onto this altar. What would you like to do, Hootie?
And with that being said, doing something kind of, unusual again, but that is where we're going to end tonight's session of Tales of Dordania. Thank you everybody for tuning in and checking it out. Pretty much the reason why we're doing this again is because we got a lot of exciting stuff happening in this episode, and I don't want anybody to miss out on any of the fun, cool, exciting details. So definitely be sure to check out the next episode where you will find out the conclusion of this first kind of big quest that the party has been on in Tales of Dordania.